Okay, welcome. This is our 5 p.m. flow. If you're practicing and just joining now, grab 2 blocks and a strap, and we're gonna get started onto our mat. And if you haven't already muted yourself, just please mute yourself. And there is a playlist as well in the chat if you want the playlist. Feel free to look at that and play it if you'd like. Let's get started on our back. Today, have your props nice and handy just next to you. We're going to get started in a reclined posture. So come all the way down to a rest in either a Shavasana, everybody, or you can take a constructive rest. Welcome, Elizabeth, as we see you and join. So if you have a belt or a strap, take the belt and strap, everybody, around your thigh bones. And if you don't have one, don't overthink this. There's a nice modification, but this is just going to give your legs a little bit more support and hug. Take the belt around the middle of your thighs, and as you recline back, step your feet wide, knock your knees together, and that's going to give you a little bit more slack onto the strap. So as you knock your knees together, then you have the option to tighten the belt a little bit more, and then start to recline yourself all the way back. And we're gonna be on our back for just a little bit as we start. So if you're like me and you have a ponytail, I feel like a lot of us have a ponytail these days, right? Lack of hair trimming. So if you have a ponytail, maybe consider taking it out so you can really rest the back of the head comfortably on the back of the mat. And then from here, give yourself a hug. Take opposite hand to opposite elbow. So this pose is really called constructive rest, and it's a beautiful way to relax the low back, and the hands around you really naturally just give yourself that being held feeling. If that feels like it's too personal, or if it feels like it's just distracting, I want you to take an arm position that feels where you need to be today. So that might mean just relaxing the hands next to the hips. Maybe it's just opposite hand on the opposite hand on top of the torso, or maybe it's a shoulder opener, opposite hand, opposite elbow, reaching the hands up and above. So come to a restful position where it feels like you can stay here for a few minutes, and then start to lengthen your tailbone back and down towards the front of the mat. And as you lengthen the tailbone back and down towards the front of the mat, think that there's a slight lift of your pubic bone up to your navel. So it's almost like a small tilt of the tailbone so that you're able to really soften and release across the sacrum. And as you release across the sacrum, you're also releasing across the front of the pelvis. And then take a big breath, inhale. Let it out with a big sigh. Exhale, let it out. And then if you have an arm variation where you need to switch the crossing if you're starting with that hug. Take opposite hand to opposite elbow. Maybe you take the opposite variation of wherever you need to be today. And as we come to this position of constructive rest, maybe just inviting in this sense of grounded, this sense of well-being. And then really feel all 4 corners of your mat like a container, like your own personal container. Maybe it's your own personal container to contain something so that you feel that sense of security, well-being, and safety. And then use the breath here. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And then again, really open the mouth to let something out. And then if you took the opposite hand on top of the shoulders, just make the hands come over the heart. You can take Anjali Mudra, just one hand on top of the other. And see if you can seal in an intention for the next hour. Really give yourself the next hour to perhaps reground, reset. Maybe it is a space of healing, really using these 4 corners of the mat to surrender or let go of something, almost like you might imagine a dark cloud passing through the sky. It's just temporary, it's momentary. You know there's an end to the storm. And just allow yourself to be in that moment and then seal an intention. Take a full breath, inhale. Seal the exhale out, let it out. And then blink the eyes open. If you have the strap, feel free to remove it from your legs. And then walk your left foot in so that you're almost like in a bridge pose. The left foot is directly underneath the center of the knee. And then start to take the strap, loop the strap around the right ball of the foot. And if you don't have a strap, don't worry, but you can just take your hands and interlace them behind your calf, or even take it behind the back of your right thigh. If you have the strap, try to take it in either hand, so both hands are grabbing a hold of that one strap. And then lengthen and straighten your left leg long, but if you have any low back issues today, keep your left foot plugged in and the left knee bent. Okay, so 2 options there. And then put a micro bend into the right knee, everybody. Look at your right foot. Notice where the heel is, notice where the ball of the foot is, and then start to push up using the center of the foot. As you push up through the center of the foot, think that your quadricep lengthens down towards your hip. And then do that again. Put a small micro bend into your right knee, really engaging the quadricep to lengthen the hamstring. Push up through the center of the foot. As you push up, it's rather than straightening the leg, it's lengthening the quadricep towards the knee. And then see if you can really move your right hip out a little bit more towards the right side. As you do that, move your left hip out a little bit more towards the left side. Take the strap just into the left hand and then take it into a twist. Take your right foot over the left leg, open your right arm long towards the side, and then turn your right palm up. So you're really turning the upper arm bone out at the shoulder. If you want to stretch the neck tonight, look towards your right hand. So maybe you've been sitting all day, maybe you've been walking, whatever the nature is of your Monday is, just start to tune into what you need today in practice. And then lengthen through all 4 sides of the torso. As you twist, see if you can rotate your left rib cage a little bit more up towards the ceiling so that you're turning a little bit more from the left side of your body. Think that you're creating space through the left side and the right side of the body. And then go up and down through the spine. As you inhale, breathe up. As you exhale, imagine a line traveling down. Inhale, lift your right leg all the way back up. And then put a micro bend into the right knee again. Switch sides. Take your strap in around your left foot. And then again, low back issues, I want you just to bend the right knee, set the right foot down. Or if you feel okay today, feel free to lengthen and straighten the leg. But always really using this practice, I've been working with this practice of ahimsa the last week. And ahimsa simply translates to mean non-harming. And in yoga, non-harming really starts with the self so that we can really share it out into the world. Put a micro bend into the left knee, and then look at your left foot. Find the heel and the ball of the foot, and then start to push up through the center of the foot. As you push up through the center of the left foot, think that your left quadricep lengthens away from the center of the knee down towards your left hip. And then really see if you can slightly internally rotate your left leg, but your external rotation comes from your right leg. So internally rotate your right thigh, spin your outer hip in, and then notice your right leg, see if you can spin your inner thigh out. And if that's totally new, that's totally fine, right? That's why yoga is called a practice. And then take the strap just into your right hand, take it into a twist. The left arm comes nice and long. Turn your left palm up. So you're really rotating the upper arm bone out of the shoulder to find more space in the armpit and space in the lungs. And then look towards the left hand. But even if that feels like it's too much today, really see if you can take the gaze where it feels best. And then notice your right rib cage. Think that your right rib cage moves up a little bit towards the ceiling, or if you're outside, I don't know if anyone's outside, but lifting it up. And then really get long through the sides of the torso. So you can lengthen from your navel, your rib cage, and your chest. And as you inhale, breathe up the spine. As you exhale, breathe down the spine. Inhale, lift your left leg all the way up. Bend into both knees. And then just ditch the strap off into the side. Take your hands around your shin bones. And then take your hands, interlace your hands right away behind your head. and behind your neck. That's it. So option here, you can keep your legs bent, or if you want a little bit more, start to lengthen and straighten your legs out. Look at your thighs, straighten your legs, point your toes. Straighten your legs, point your toes. That's it. Turn your inner thighs in. That's it. And then reach your hands forward. On an inhale, reach your right leg up, and then exhale, lower your right leg down. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, lower it down. Really nice. Inhale, reach your right leg up. Good. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, down. One more full set. Stay with it. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale and lower. Again, you can keep the knees bent. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale and lower. Stay, stay, stay. Inhale, rock yourself all the way up for Navasana. That's it. Reach your hands forward. Then inhale, take your hands to your heart. That's it. Exhale, set your feet down. Cross your ankles, everybody. Really nice work. Roll over. Find your first downward facing dog. Spread your hands evenly and well. Lift your hips up. Send your heels back and down. And so take a moment here. So notice the measurement of down dog first. The measurement of down dog is from plank pose. So always take the time to really set yourself up so that you have that good technique. So shift forward a couple of times to plank and then back to a down dog so that you're really measuring yourself well. Come all the way back, downward facing dog. Lift your heels, but bend your knees just slightly. And then look back at your thighs. Everybody, think that the top of your thighs spin in a little bit. And then use the spin of the top of the thighs to press your legs back. So the straightening of the legs really comes more from your quadriceps. And there's volume from the inner thighs. And that volume from the inner thighs spinning in moves the outer hips a little bit more out towards their own side. Inhale, lift both heels. Exhale, bend both knees. Look forward, step, hop, or jump to the top of the mat. Right away, take two hands, make fists. Slide the fists to the inner arches of the feet. Bend your knees. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Rise, come to standing. Then exhale, take your hands to your heart. Relax your hands next to your hips for Tadasana. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up and over the head. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana, forward fold. Take your hands, your shins, lift up halfway, really push your feet down, reach your head forward. See if you can really lengthen your torso on all four sides forward, and then really draw the front of the rib cage in and up. Relax your hands down, fold, Uttanasana. On an inhale, step your right foot back to a lunge. Exhale, left foot back, downward facing dog. On an inhale, come to plank pose. As you exhale, child's pose. Come onto your knees. Sit all the way back onto your heels. And then inhale, sit up nice and tall, everybody. Right away, roll over onto one hip again. Swing the legs out around in front of you, and then lay onto your back. So you're going to do a little bit more core work just as we warm up today. Take your right knee back into your chest, and then find a four square on your back. Take your right ankle on top of your left ankle. And then inhale, interlace your hands again behind your head and neck. And then inhale, lift your head up and off the mat. So you can lift the tips of your shoulder blades just slightly off. Maybe they come up, maybe they don't. And then we're going to cross the body for an oblique twist. Reach up, take your left elbow towards your right knee, and then exhale to lower. We've got four more. Inhale, lift up, cross left elbow to right knee, exhale and lower. For three, lift up, breathe in, cross, exhale and lower. For two, inhale, lift up, cross, exhale and lower. Really good work. Last one, stick with it. Up, come up, cross, exhale and lower. So good. Take your right knee, hug your right knee in, hug your left knee in, and then rock up to Navasana. That's it. Reach your arms forward. So good. Cross the ankles, step or hop back. This time to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog or cobra. That's it. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right away, lift your right leg to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot to your right thumb. Inhale, your left foot up to meet your right. Take your hands, your shins, lift up halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Feet down, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands straight through the heart. Fold from the hips, Uttanasana. Inhale, hands to shins, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands. Inhale, step your left foot back to a lunge. Exhale, right foot back, down dog. Inhale to plank pose. Come down onto the knees. Drop your knees down, hips to heels, child's pose. Right away, lift up, roll over onto your opposite side. Swing the legs around, lay on your back, come to four square. This time, left ankle on top of right thigh. Left ankle to right thigh. Interlace your hands. Inhale, lift your head and shoulders up and off the mat. And then exhale, come into a twist. Right elbow to left knee. And then lower down. Four more. Inhale, lift up, cross. Exhale and lower. Inhale, lift up, cross. Exhale and lower. Couple more. Three more. Lift up, cross. Exhale and lower. For two, lift up. You got this. Exhale and lower. That's it. Last one. Find that determination. Lift up, cross. Exhale and lower. Hug both knees in. Rock your way up. Navasana. Find that Navasana. Sit onto the sits bones. Reach your head up. So strong. Good. Cross the ankles. Step, hop, or jump back. Chaturanga. So make this heated if you want. If you don't, just step your way back. We'll meet in down dog. Lift your left leg out the mat. Exhale, step your left foot forward. Look out in front of you. Inhale, right foot up to meet it. Halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise. Come to standing all the way at the top. Then exhale, hands at the heart. Good. One round of either traditional Surya Namaskar, jump, or you can stay with step back. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, look out. If you want to jump, jump back to Chaturanga. Elbows are bent to 90. Keep the gaze out, the chin out. That's really the trick. That's it. So good. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths in your down dog. So as you come into this, I'm going to come look. As you come into this, really see if you can find a buoyancy in the upper back. If you need to quickly measure your down dog, measure it. Come into your plank and then shift your way back. Really always checking. Yeah, so good. Really nice, Alicia. So good. When you come back, then pause. You can put a little bit more buoyancy into the legs, a lot of you, and then really feel that turn in of the thighs so that the hips move out a little bit more towards their own side. And when you bend the knees, you can really access that inner thigh spinning in so you can feel that balance. Inhale, all lift your heels up, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, step, hop, or jump to the top of the mat. Hands to shins, breathe in. Exhale, breathe out, fold. Inhale, rise, Urdhva Hastasana, come all the way up. That's it. Exhale, hands at the heart. Bend your knees, shift the weight into your heels, Utkatasana, chair pose. Reach your arms forward and out. That's it. Fold, Uttanasana, fold all the way down. Hands to shins, lift up halfway. If you want a little mini arm balance, I know I have some of you arm balancers in here, feel free to take a Bakasana, everybody, crow pose. Hands down, knees to the backs of the triceps. Look forward, really squeeze the inner thighs in to lift up, or just travel back. You can travel back plank, flow, or no flow. Your choice, your practice. Good. Really nice, beautiful. One more breath, meet back. Beautiful, Elizabeth. Jump back. Always keep the gaze out, out, out next time. That's it. When you're ready, right leg lifts up. Inhale. Step forward, exhale. Grab your block if you have one. Take your block on the highest height and place it to the inside of the right foot. Highest height, highest facet to the inside of the right foot. Take your right hand on the block and really see if you can look forward. In front of you, imagine 12 o'clock. To your right is 3. To your left is 9. And behind you towards your tailbone is 6 o'clock. So before you even move, I want you to look out towards 12 o'clock. Really think that you're looking out not from your neck, but using your whole upper body So you can lengthen forward, but use your pubic bone, your sternum, and your chest to come forward and out. And then so you can really draw your right knee forward, but anchor your left heel back. So there's that buoyancy of moving forward, but also anchoring you and supporting you back. Think of your right knee like a rudder, moving you in the right direction, but your anchor is really giving you that stability. Turn your left foot down 45 degrees. And take, and we're not coming to warrior one, we're gonna come to triangle. But first, we're gonna get into the pose. So take your front big toe, push your right big toe in, and then start to lengthen your right quadricep up, 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 away from the center of the knee towards your right hip. Before you turn the pose, take your left hand to your sacrum at your low back. Left hand to your sacrum at your low back, that's it. Keep the gaze out. Yes, keep looking forward. Then start to turn the pose. Triangle pose. Keep your right shoulder moving towards 12 o'clock, your left shoulder moving back towards 6. Yes, so good. So you can rotate from the right rib cage, spin the right rib cage up. So pretty, Judy, good. And then if you have it in your body, reach your left hand straight up. Yes, so good. Look up with your right eye, Zach, a little bit more. Yes, yes, so pretty. And then slowly keep the gaze up, everybody, but bend your right knee. Bend your right knee. And then you can turn it into an extended side angle if you want. Reach your left hand up and over the ear, but keep the gaze up. So really rotating, this is an open twist, right? So when you push your right knee forward a little bit more, can you keep that anchor in the left foot? And then think that the top of your left thigh turns in. As you turn the top of your left leg in, it's gonna move your right hip back a little bit more to the hip socket. So good. Look down. Whew. Plant your hands. Take your block right away off to the side. Turn onto your left heel. Look out in front of you towards 12 o'clock. And then step back either to a plank or one-legged plank, your choice. If you'd like, one-legged chaturanga. Set both feet down as you rise. Upward facing dog. Yeah, with a smile, right? You made it. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back. Exhale, set your left foot forward. Take your block again, highest facet, highest height to the inside of your left foot. So really get anchored here. This pose is really about the stability of the legs, getting grounded, right? This whole practice is about really getting grounded and rooted so we can start our week for whatever may come because we really don't know. Take your left hand to the block and then take your right hand to your sacrum at the low back. So as we do this, we really turn ourselves from our spit. And our spit is our spine. It's our center. It's our steering wheel, okay? So as we do this, we're really able to mediate between both sides. Pick up your right foot. Take your right foot 45 degrees. And you can even go 60 degrees. So what that means is it's really turning your right big toe to face the right corner of the mat. I'll say that again. Right big toe to the right corner of the mat. Look out towards 12 o'clock. Push into your left big toe. Think that the center of the left knee moves up to begin to lengthen. Yes. And then most of us need to do this. So we're going to take our right hand to the front of our right thigh. Yes. Think that your right hand moves a little bit more in and down. So that's a turning in of your right thigh down. And as you turn your right thigh in and down, you're really moving your left hip back into hip socket, right? Yes. Aha, so a lot of you got that now. Good. Now take your right hand back to your sacrum. Then move, look out in front of you towards 12. Keep turning your left shoulder towards 12, your right shoulder back towards 6. So beautiful. These are such beautiful triangle poses. Yes. If you want, right hand up. Think your thumb is directly on top of your ear. Yes. Then turn the pose. Turn the pose from the left rib cage. Move it to the right. Yes, there's a back bend of the pose, but there's also a forward bend of the hips. You can lean back a little bit more, Elizabeth. Straighten through that front leg a little bit more, Alicia. Even more, Alicia. Yes, you got it. Good. Now take that big bend into the left knee. Think the left knee moves you forward. Yes, so good. And the right heel anchors you back. But keep the gaze up. Now, if you want, reach your right arm up and over towards the front of the room. Yes, so good. Really use the stability in your legs, but turn yourself with the torso so you're finding your ability, and then get the vision up, 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 up. So strong. Whew, let all that go. Look down. Set the props off to the side. Turn onto the back wall of the right foot. Look out in front of you. Step or float your left leg back. One-legged plank to one-legged chaturanga. Set both feet down. Inhale, you made it. Up dog with a smile. Exhale with a big sigh. Downward facing dog. So, so, so pretty. Then drop your knees down. Send your hips to your heels. And I want you to take your hands to your heels. So we're going to come into a moon salutation today. And moon salutations is a little bit more heated practice, right? So moon salutations are really about going inward, everybody. So as we go inward, we're coming from the back of the mat. So the moon salutation, think of the image or the visualization of tide coming in and tide coming out. So there's this back and forth, right? There's this ebb and flow. There's this rising and falling. But there's also sort of a pattern and a rhythm that we see in nature, right? So when things kind of move into our way and we don't have that pattern, we have the tendency to either work with it or work against it. If you leave something out in the ocean overnight, it's going to get swept away, right? But if you do your due diligence and you pick it up, it's not going to get lost, right? So moving with the seasons, moving with the pattern, so that you really know your up from your down. You know your right from your left. You know what's in front of you and what's behind you. You know that you have memories, but you're not just going to let the memories wash you away to come out of your future, right? You know that you need that potential to move you forward, but you're not just going to think about what's coming or what's ahead or get really worried or anxious about thinking about the future, because you have to be centered in your present moment. And that's also hard, right? That's also hard. That's why it's called a practice. So the moon salutations are really this reminder of the natural patterns in our practice and our lives, so that we can really see where we go and where we don't go, okay? So we're gonna do the first one slow, and then we're gonna move, okay? Take your hands to your heels, get yourself like a little seed, maybe like a little seashell, and take your forehead down, take your hands to your heels, but make a good fit. Really try to fit your palm of your hands to your heels so that you can go inward. And when you go inward into your personal shell, you begin to notice what you need. You begin to notice your own patterns. You notice your habits, good and bad. And that's not bad, but it's more information, right? So all information is powerful. It's not good or bad, but it's introspective. And then inhale, look forward, sort of start to awaken and rise up. Reach your arms up, but keep your buttock bones on your heels. Yeah, so pretty. And then think that your hands move out in front of you. So you're starting to feel this ebb and flow of the tide. Tense your fingertips, and then inhale. Rise everybody into a tucked, toed up dog. Tuck your toes in. Use your legs. Press your heels back. Here's where that spinning of the thighs comes in. Spin your inner thighs in and up, but use your pubis to come forward, up and out, and then widen your collarbones. Yes. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look forward, step your right foot to your right thumb, and look out in front of you. So see what's in front of you, but feel your left heel in your past so that you can mediate what's forward, what's in front of you, and what's behind you to find yourself at your center. Pick up your left foot, step it up to your right, and fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Reach your arms all the way up. So start to feel this ebb and flow of the tide. And then take your hands together, your forearms together, your elbows together. And as you do that, trace hands, forearms, elbows down. Come back into the fold. Inhale, step your right foot back. So find that pattern, moving forward, moving back. Look out in front of you. Exhale, step back, down dog. Inhale, tucked toed, upward facing dog. Heels back. Reach your navel forward. Lift your chest forward and up. Yes. Lower your knees down, Feel that softening, untuck your toes. Come back to your seed pose, hands to your heels. Really cup your hands into your heels and then rest. So go back in. And then the tide comes back out. Inhale, rise, sit onto your buttock bones. Reach your arms all the way up. Maybe look up. See what's above you, but also feel what's supporting you underneath. Reach your arms out. And then rise to the tide. Reach forward with the chest, heels back. So good. Feel the tide flow and then pull it back. Feel that ebb and flow, down dog. Inhale, left foot forward lunge. Look out in front of you. Feel what's in front and back, but to your right and left and up and down. So you really mediate between yourself and your center. That's your steering wheel. Step your right foot out to meet your left and fold. Inhale, rise. Feel the effort, that tenacity to move through things. And then catch the grace. Hands together, forearms together, elbows together. Feel grace pulling through you as you fold. Inhale, step your left foot back, look out in front. Exhale, right foot meets left, down dog. Inhale, tuck toe, upward facing dog. Look forward, look out. That's it. Come back to the ground. Knees down, untuck your toes. Come back to your seed pose. So pretty. So this time we'll move a little bit faster, and if you lose the pose, just come into that, right? So part of that's also like personal, is like what happens when I don't get it perfect, right? It's okay, right? That's why it's a practice. So really meet yourself where you are. Practice the hymns of that kindness. Inhale, we rise. Come all the way up. Good. So think 1, I rise. I find my foundation. I drop in. 2, come all the way out. Rise up. Inhale, up dog. 3, come back. Downward facing dog. And then inhale, look forward. Set your right foot forward. Rise out in front of you. Good. So find those 4 corners of the mat and look out. Exhale, left foot up to meet it. Fold. 5, come all the way down. Inhale, rise up. 6, all the way up. Good. Reach up towards heaven. Exhale, hands together, forearms together, elbows together. Make this connection about you. So really take the hands down. And then 8, step your right foot back, rather, look out. 9, step back, down dog. Inhale, forward. Come all the way out, up dog. And then exhale, 10. Drop your knees down, put the whole thing back together. Hands to the heels, rest your forehead down. And then we begin again. Inhale, 1, rise all the way up. So good. Exhale out in front of you. So notice that ebb and flow. 2 as you rise up. Feel that potential. Look out. Maybe take a little look to the left and look to the right. See what's around you. So good. Set your hips back. 3, down dog. Inhale, left foot forward. Feel those boundaries, that foundation. 4 corners around. Build that frame. And then exhale. 5, feet together. Fold. Inhale as you rise. Feel that potential in front of you. Feel your past. Don't let your past be heavy. And then take it down. Fold. Hands together, forearms together. Mediate well between what's behind you and what's in front of you for 6. Then inhale, step your left foot back. 7. Exhale. Both feet together. 8. Down dog. Inhale brings you forward. 9. Feel that rising, that coming together. Notice your third eye. Can you lift it? And then exhale, put the whole thing back together for 10. The whole thing, hands to the heels. Rest the forehead down. And then stay here just for a few breaths. If you need some water, feel free to grab it. Take a few moments to really just drop in. Maybe settle into anything that came up. And just observe the patterns around us can often be grounding. Whether we see the patterns in nature or not, nature keeps moving around us, reminding us of these patterns, this rhythm in our body. It's like when we were born, we have that first breath and we breathe in, and when we die, we have that final breath out, right? And the practice reminds us of that immortality of our true self, right? So where can we practice almost that sense of carpe diem, where we're really encapsulating ourselves within the practice. Good. And then when you're ready, rise up, come all the way back up. Send your hands out in front of you. Tuck your toes, lift your hips for downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Right away, take your hands off the mat, off the sides of the mat. Take your right hand to 3 o'clock and take your left hand to 9 o'clock. Think that your chest moves forward towards 12. Your pubis moves forward towards 12. Your tail moves back towards 6. And then push into your right heel. So you can lift your right buttock bone up a little bit. But keep your gaze out a little bit more. Yes. Good, Nancy, look out. Beautiful. When you're ready, inhale. Take a high lunge. Reach your arms all the way up. Good. And then really get your arms in line with your ears. So you can put a micro bend into your left knee. As you micro bend your left knee, think that your pubis moves forward and up, that your tail moves back and down. Yes, your back bending so much better from the back bend, and then straighten and lengthen your left leg back. As you push into your right heel, think that your right heel moves your right knee forward to find your rudder, but keep your left heel anchored back so that you're really getting anchored in that back heel. And then breathe in, put a little bit of wind into your sail. Maybe see where the waters take you. Where are you gazing? Where are you looking? Where do you want to go? Where have you been? Then take your hands at your heart. Inhale, send your prayer forward. And then exhale, take a twist to the right. Hook your left elbow or your left outer tricep to the right thigh. And then make a fist with your left hand. Think rock, paper, scissors. Move the rock into the piece of paper. Your right hand is the piece of paper, your left hand is the rock. So it's just a small light grip, almost like you're playing rock, paper, scissors, and you're just grabbing a hold gently, like you're like, aha, I won. My kids have started to play this a lot, and they introduced a really interesting element called God, and God wins all, right? So I don't know if that came from school or where it came from, but I find it really entertaining. So push your left hand up, really making a little bit better fit. And then think that your gaze comes out towards 12. Really look out towards 12 o'clock. That's it. And then move your left shoulder a little bit more towards 12 o'clock, your right shoulder back towards 9. Yes, so good. Set your hands down. Step your left foot in 2 feet. You'll feel a big aha moment. Take your blocks, both blocks. If you don't have blocks, no worries. Take both blocks on the highest facet, on the highest height, and then frame your right foot. Put a micro bend into the front knee, and then think that you're plugging in through your right big toe. Plug your right big toe in, but think there's a lift up from your arch of your right foot, but don't actually lift the foot, right? Just use your imagination for that. And then think that the top of the right knee, there's a line. So find almost like an imaginary plumb line. It's like a spine, a line through the center of your right knee, so it lifts up through the quadricep. And then keep pushing your left heel back. Think that there's a turn in of your left thigh. And that turn in of the left thigh keeps moving your right hip back into the hip socket. So it's a little bit of a modification, but it's the same thing that we've been doing, right? All practice in this, almost like this triangle pose variation, but this is pyramid pose. And then we're gonna move into a twist from here. Pick up your block, take one block to the inside of your right foot. Take your hand down onto the block, your left hand onto the block, and then take your right hand into your low back at your sacrum. Look out in front of you, find 12 o'clock, and then really think you're plugging your left shoulder a little bit more towards 12. Spin the pose from your left rib cage. Move your left rib cage to the right. Then maybe start to look up, but look up using your left eye. Yes, and then some of you, if you can keep the sacrum nice and lengthened, you can reach your right arm up. I don't like that. It really disconnects me from my pelvis and finding that spreading of the pelvis, but some of you might have the flexibility to do that. That's why this practice is personal. Yes, good. And then, yeah, I can see some of you are done. This is why it's so hard. So give yourself a little grace. And then look forward, bend to your front knee. Your blocks off to the side. And then take your hand to the inside of your foot. Walk your hands around, find a wide leg fold. Aha. Bend into your left knee to release your right leg. Bend it. You can stay. You can move a little bit side to side. But play, just look what feels better for you, stillness or movement. And then even out through both sides. Look back at your right foot, walk your hands back forward. Step back to down dog. You get to choose. This is a flow hour. So if you want to flow, flow. If not, stay in a down dog. Beautiful. We'll meet back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back. Last standing pose. Exhale, set your left foot forward. Right away, take your hands wide off the mat. Take your right hand to 3, your left hand to 9. And then think that your left armpit, you can even plug your left armpit into the left knee. Look out towards 12 o'clock for all of you. Yeah, so much better. And that looking out really allows your the front of your pelvis to come into the pose a little bit more. And then think that your left knee moves forward, but your right heel is anchoring you back. And then when you're ready, inhale, rise up, high crescent lunge. That's it. Get your arms in line with your ears. So good. Put a micro bend into your right knee. Think that that bend of the knee lifts your pubic bone forward and up, but it drops your tailbone back and down. Really noticing those polarities. And then move your hips out to their own side at 3 and 9. Now begin to straighten and lengthen your right leg back, but move your left knee forward. Yes, so pretty, so nice. Take your hands to your heart, turn it into a twist. Twist to the left. Keep your gaze out, everybody. So our natural tendency is to kind of turn and get it over with, right? I want you to really focus on turning from the torso. These poses are challenging because you have to be really grounded and really stable in the legs. So if we just kind of turn our gaze and turn our torso, we're not really plugging in. But I want you to plug your feet in, but also think that the arches of your feet are also lifting you up. Then look forward towards 12 o'clock. Think that your right shoulder moves towards 12 and your left shoulder moves back towards 6. Turn your right rib cage to the left. Then look up and over your shoulder. Yes, so good. You can always drop the back knee down too if you need to. Good. Look down, unwind the pose. Hands down, grab your blocks. Take them on the highest height. Step your right foot in about 2 feet. You can even step it in a little bit further, but it is a really short stance for pyramid pose. Your right foot is angled 45 degrees. So let's start with the back foot this time, everybody. Put a micro bend into the left knee. And I want you to really use that turn in at the top of the right thigh. So you do plug your right thigh in and forward, but push your right heel back to straighten the leg. Yeah, so find your anchor first. Then push the weight into the big ball or the big toe mound or the ball of the foot on the left foot. And then think that there's a line from the center of your left knee to lift up to the center of your hip. Then start to lengthen the torso forward on all 4 sides, the front, the back, the right, the left. Try not to strain the neck like you're looking forward towards your future. Find yourself in the middle of the pose. So notice there's a front and there's a back. There's a side on each side, right and left, and there's an up and a down. And then really put yourself on your spit, on your center, so that you have a good steering wheel, so you know where you're going. You find that internal GPS. You know there's going to be roadblocks along the way, right? In DC, there's always a roadblock every time you come from Virginia to downtown, right? No matter what. But you know how to navigate. You know your course. You know where you're going. And it might take you a little bit longer to get there, but we're moving forward, right? We're always moving forward. We're not stuck in our past. And then take it into the twist. Take a block to the inside of your left foot. Right hand on the block this time. Take your left hand to the sacrum at the low back, and then look out in front of you towards 12 o'clock. Spin your right rib cage a little bit more towards the left, and then start to look up and over your left shoulder. And this pose is hard. This isn't, if you look at Yoga Journal, this is like a level 2, level 3, right? So use your breath, right? We spin around ourselves. It's a forward bend, it's a twist, and it's a little bit of a back bend. So back bend the pose for a lot of you. Yes, so pretty. Good, Judy, so good. Now you can turn the pose, Judy. Look over your left shoulder. Yeah, so good. I love how everyone became Judy. Everyone's turning and looking. So pretty. And when you're ready, know that, and then take a breath, and then let it go slowly, slowly, slowly. Whew. That's it. Bend your left knee. Wiggle your right foot back. That's it. Take your blocks off to the side. We're going to need them in a moment. And then last flow. So if you want to step back, step back. Take a flow to let all that go. It's like a recalibration, right? And then when you're ready, lift your right leg up and back. Slide your right knee to your chest and then set your right shin forward for your pigeon pose, okay? So before just kind of dropping into it, if you have the 2 blocks, take your blocks on either side of that front, either side of your hips. So take the blocks, actually take the blocks a little bit more towards 2 and 10. 2 and 10, but move your hips, right hip to 3, left hip to 9. I'll say that again. Take your blocks to 2 and 10, and then turn your right hip to 3, your left hip to 9. Everybody tuck your left toes in. That'll be your back leg, your straight leg. Slowly lift, just for a moment, lift your left knee to a hover, and then see if you can turn the top of your left thigh in to move your right hip a little bit more out towards 3. Then drop your back knee down, untuck your back toes. So when we come into these poses, this often is like we're coming off of that internal GPS system. And if we don't have our pubis forward and our tailbone back behind us, we can just do this and drop off to one side. And it feels like this stretch, but you're actually doing over time kind of more damage than you think you should. So if your right hip is up and off the ground now, take one of your blocks and tuck it underneath your right buttock bone. And think there's a plug in of your perineum right underneath your sacrum and your spine, but the plug in lifts you up. So there's a back bend coming from the pelvis, okay? Take your second block. I like to turn it on the medium height and I put it right in my navel underneath my diaphragm. When we come into this pose, we want to have the shoulders so they're in line with the hips. So we're not just splaying the body down, but we're embodying the pose a little bit more. I prefer to come onto my forearms. If you have the flexibility, you can do so, come down. You can also walk the hands back and stay upright. So really make this personal to where you want to be right now, right? And I know a lot of you have children at home. This is a great one where you can call them over and have them lay on you, because I'm not there to give you a beautiful assist, right? So if you want a little bit more weight, feel free to invite that in. And then really start to embody the pose. This practice today was really all about grounding and twisting. And when we find our feet, we often really feel where we are in time and space. We get our grounding when we really feel sometimes like our world is turned upside down. And I know that's true for a lot of us lately. Our world feels really turned upside down. I've heard this phrase of like our new reality, right? Well, the reality is what we make it. And so if we feel really turned upside down, that's why we have the yoga practice, so that we have really good techniques, so that we know where we are in time and space. We know how we spend our time from dawn till dusk. We know where we're using our efforts, putting in the work so that we can catch grace. And then take one more breath. Inhale through the front of the body, back of the body, left, right, up and down. Exhale, feel like you're coming back to yourself at your center. Maybe even take a breath out, next breath out with a sigh. Then when you're ready, walk your hands back. Lift your chest. You use a block underneath the hip. Just for a moment, slide it off to the side. And then make your way back to down dog. You can bend your knees, paddle out through the feet. Maybe just shake your head out a little bit, side to side, yes and no. And then when you're ready to arrive, lift your left leg up. Exhale, pull your left knee and set your shin forward. And then allow the back knee to drop just to find that support. Grab both blocks again. Take your blocks again, 2 and 10. And then when you're ready, think about your hips. So one side you're gonna get a little bit more stuck in, right? This is definitely the side for me. So see if you can really use this turning of the hips to find yourself at your center at your spin a little bit more. Turn your right hip a little bit more towards 3, your left hip a little bit more towards 9. So readjust yourself. So your pubis is out in front of you towards 12. Your tail is back and down towards 6 o'clock. Yes, then everybody tuck your right toes in, hover your right knee up and off the mat. Spin the top of your right thigh in and down, and that moves your left hip a little bit more out towards 9. Then drop your back knee down, untuck your back toes. Yeah, Caroline, I think you need to have your left foot a little bit more. Think your left heel comes towards your front of your right pubic bone. Left heel towards the front of your, yes, a little bit more. And then repeat that. So you're gonna have to, everyone can lower down. I'm just pinpointing to help. Then you can tuck your back toes in again. Think that that turn in comes in to move your hip out. Yes. Yeah, that looks better. Then you can take a block underneath the hip. Does that feel better? Give me a thumbs up. Maybe. So hard practicing on Zoom. I know. Really, but really, I love the effort. But and then take it all the way down, fold. I can just see you the best out of everyone. That's why I chose to help. Good. And then fold all the way down and stop and release. Good. So pretty. Oh, I love it. Leela's husband's coming, giving him beautiful practice pose. Oh, I love it. Yes. Get the shoulders. So fun. I love when families are involved. And so just begin to notice where the mind goes. And observe, of course, to observe without any judgment. That's really this practice of mindfulness. And then as you're ready, take one more big breath. And as you exhale, walk the hands back. Leela, you stay and get that massage. And then roll over onto one hip. Send both legs out around in front of you. Send your feet together. Take your knees wide. And if you want, you can take your blocks underneath your thighs. If your knees are really high and lifted, you might like that. If not, we're going to come into Baddha Konasana. So hands around the ankles. And then notice from here, look down at your inner ankles. See if you have a lot of like wrinkles in your ankles. That's going to mean you're going to need to sit a little bit higher. So some of you might just take the edge of your mat and sit on to the edge of your mat. The inner ankles are related to our lungs. So if you get a lot of that kind of creasing or that wrinkling, it means you need to sit up higher to find a little bit more space, okay? Hands around your ankles. Inhale, lift your chest up. And then exhale, option to fold. Look out towards 12. And then really relax your inner thighs to your outer thighs to move your knees down towards the ground. And then think that you're plugging your perineum in and down, but you're also lifting off to lift your sternum and your chest forward. And then just notice all the points of contact with the ground. When you're ready, inhale, tuck your chin in, come all the way back up. Cross your ankles, come to a comfortable seated pose. We're going to come into just a moment or two of breath work before we come down for Shavasana or for meditation if you want it. I'll give you both options. Come to comfortable seat. I'm going to sit onto a block just so I have a little bit more elevation. So it's really personal, however you want to be. And as we come, really try to sit yourself forward a little bit more, and then just grab opposite hand to opposite elbow. Take your forearms out in front of you. So you can really fit your palm of your hand into your elbow, so you're really making a good frame. And then take your forearms up, and then take your forearms down. And so add a breath with this as you inhale, forearms up. As your forearms come down, it's an exhale. And so keep moving with that. I'm going to talk you through this if this is new for you. If you've been doing this for a while with me, just come into the practice. I find each time you do these pranayama practices, you can settle in a little bit more. So if you've been doing this with me, hopefully that's the case. And so start to notice there's a rise, and there's a fall. Notice there's an up and a down, but there's also a front and a back. And then the next time your forearms come up, make a good frame around your ears, and then look to your left. See what's to your left, and then take your gaze forward, see what's out in front of you, know what's behind you, and then look to your right. And then do that again, turn your gaze to the left, maybe fast or slow, just getting a good look. It's like you're opening the window of your body, noticing where you need to open, maybe to create more space or air, and then look to the right. So you can really see yourself through your own framework, your own frame of reference, and then take your gaze out in front of you. And then again, drop your forearms down, switch the crossing of the elbows so you find that balance in the body. And then I want you to put this on a count of 30 today. So 30 times, inhale and exhale, that's one. Rising and falling. So when you put yourself on a count, so you can move slow, you can move fast. Really make it personal. Maybe do a couple fast and you do a couple slow. But what we're doing is we're giving ourselves a good framework so that we have a good frame of reference. And when we have a good frame of reference, we know what's up and we know what's down. We know what's black and we know what's white. We know what's to our right and to our left. And within the practice, we use this word of yoga, this word of union. And it simply means the coming together of two things. So we use this idea of our spit today, or our spine, or our Sushumna Atman, sometimes it's called, or it's our Tai Chi, right? So for those of you that are familiar with that terminology, but we can also think of it simply as our Tai Chi. We can think of it as two things. But in yoga, yoga teaches us that it's not two things, it's coming together to make one, right? So it's that union or yoga. So it's not up or down, it's up and down to find yourself in the middle. It's not black or white, it's black and white. So we can meet and mediate together to find that union. And it's not right and left, it's finding yourself in the middle so that you have a good compass and you have a good framework. And then move up and down. If you've lost count, do 3 more. That's it. And then release the hands down. That's it. Inhale, reach your arms out and wide to the side. And then make a cup of your hands, almost like you're holding water into the center of your palms. Reach your arms out. And then find your right hand. Take your right hand and then just give it a good shake. Give it a good shake. Shake, shake, shake it out. And then see your right hand with your right eye. See your right hand with your left eye. So you're really seeing yourself in your current circumstance. And you can feel silly as you do this, and that's okay. Yoga makes us do some silly things, right? And then start to go up, and then start to go down. To go up again and down. And then do it one time fast. And then do it slow, slow, slow. And then do it fast again. And then come all the way back, reach your right arm up, and then take your left hand. Shake your left hand out. So as you do this, really start to see what arises. Your left hand is your hand of your feelings. It's the hand closest to your heart. Maybe explore, where do you want to take it? Down, up, to the side, go where you want to go. And just observe where you're feeling. See if one side is easier than another. Maybe one side is harder than another, right? And if you are with people right now, right, notice what their reaction is, right? Is it fun? Is it silly? And then pause the left hand. And then we're going to put all that together. Shake both hands. Shake, 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 shake. So as you do this, really feel those two polarities, right? Notice two things on opposition. And then move them up, move them down. So you're really feeling yourself in your current circumstance. And then start to take your hands together, clap your hands. So begin to make really good contact. You know what it is to feel a sense of accomplishment. When you take those two things and you mediate them well. And then take your hands, cup your hands, close your eyes. Notice that vibration. Notice what it is to take two things and mediate them well so that you can navigate the space around you. Take a big breath, inhale. Open the mouth, exhale, let it out. And then your choice. You can take your hands on your knees for seated meditation, or maybe take a rest for Shavasana. And I apologize that I'm sure you can hear the background noise that a gardener has arrived, so I apologize. It's still in our current circumstance. I apologize. But as you come to a rest, come all the way down. And I'm going to move my phone, so hopefully it's not as disturbing. So meditation or come to a rest. If you're in seated meditation and mind has begun to wander, notice. Allow the meditation to end. And then take a big breath in. And an open mouth, exhale out. And if you're on your back, when you're ready, join us in seated pose. Take your time if you want to stay. You're at home, so feel free to rest. And then we'll all join our hands together over our hearts. Symbol of two things coming together. Maybe closing with this practice. Maybe it's using that one word of groundedness that we worked with today, or this yama, practice of ahimsa, meaning non-harming. So when we find that grounding in our bodies, we're really checking our boundaries all around us. And let's close the breath. Take a full breath, inhale. Exhale, let it out. Blink the eyes open. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much. So fun to practice with you. Such a fun class today. If you have any questions, let me know. Feel free. I'll stay on for a couple of minutes. We also have a couple of announcements. We are going to start some outdoor classes. I'm not teaching outdoor classes this week, but I may. So check the schedule. We only have 6 coming up, and